Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is February 26, 2024, and Nike and Barcelona have once again sat down to discuss the contract between the two giants. Also, Hansi Flick is still insisting on joining Barcelona. And finally, Everton have informed Barcelona that they will be rejecting their offer for Amadou Onana. We have a lot to discuss. So let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and this is the Barca News live podcast on every Mondays and Wednesdays, usually at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I apologize for starting the podcast 3 hours late. Unfortunately, my live stream software was not working. I had to call customer support. There was a lot of calls back and forth for 3 hours. This was some hellish 3 hours, but finally, after I think it was like 8 or 9 phone calls, and after being on the line for 3 hours, my software is working, so now I'm live. So again, I apologize for the delay, but here we are, ready to share all the Barcelona news, ready to interact with all of you wonderful people in the chat section. Of course, for those of you who will be watching the live stream when it ends, I will be putting timestamps in description, chapters in the timeline, in case you do want to skip through the discussion. I haven't said all that. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. All of this helps this channel continue to grow. Now, let's begin with the news. I know some of you have been waiting for quite some time. Again, I apologize, but let's begin with the news. And let's start by looking at and I will make this bigger, but let's start by looking on the La Liga standing table, because this weekend was actually pretty good for Barcelona. We had 3 out of 5 positive results. With firstly, of course, Barcelona getting that positive result against Getafe, winning convincingly 4-0. Also, we got Atletico de Madrid, who dropped points by drawing against Almeria 2-2. And finally, we had Athletic Club de Bilbao losing against Real Betis, so also dropping points. And this is very important because now Atletico de Madrid and Athletic Club de Bilbao are a little bit further away from Barcelona. This is very important because these are two clubs who are fighting Barcelona for the top 4 spots or the Champions League qualification spots. So by dropping points, Atletico Madrid are now 5 points behind Barcelona with 52 points, and Athletic Club de Bilbao are 8 points behind Barcelona with 49 points, where Barcelona have 57. Now, both Real Madrid and Girona have won their respective matches. Real Madrid won against Sevilla with a late goal by Modric. So now they have 65 points. And Girona won against Rayo Vallecano 3-0. So now they have 59 points. So Barcelona are 2 points behind Girona. And what is that? 8 points behind Real Madrid. Now, this is the frustrating thing about this table when I look at it, is that looking at the table right now, you can guess or you can estimate that Barcelona could have won this La Liga season. And I'm not saying this because Barcelona are somehow playing amazingly. They're not. They've had a horrible season so far. But I'm saying this because Real Madrid are seriously just as bad as Barcelona. I've watched several Real Madrid matches this season. They're pretty awful. Their football is not convincing whatsoever. It's pretty boring. They've had several matches where they couldn't even beat their opposition, but somehow, some way, they always end up winning. So Real Madrid are playing pretty awful, just as much as Barcelona. So had Barcelona not wasted so many easy points or points that they should have won against much weaker opponents, I think we could have won this La Liga season. I mean, our biggest example is Villarreal, of course. We lost against them at home. That's 3 important points. There's Granada, where we drew against them at home as well. That's another 2 points. So that's 5 points right there that would have put us only 3 points away from Real Madrid. That's not counting all the other matches that Barcelona lost or drew where Barcelona should have won. So I think this is a season where Barcelona could have also won La Liga. Again, not because Barcelona are playing wonderfully. That's not the case. But because Real Madrid, they're also not impressing whatsoever. I mean, when you watch them play, that's not a team that picks their opposition apart, that subjugates their opposition, that, completely annihilates their opposition. Not at all. It's a team that also has a pretty awful football compared to Barcelona. And we're talking about a Real Madrid, that's full of stars, Bellingham, Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, and yet they're still pretty awful. And that's what's very frustrating about this, because, again, had Barcelona won those points against much weaker opponents where we should have won, I think we could be winning this La Liga season. But it is what it is. So far, we're sitting third, only 8 points behind Madrid, 2 points behind Girona. And the important thing is we're building a good enough cushion between us and Atletico de Madrid and Athletic Club de Bilbao, because, again, the goal right now is to finish in the top 4 spots and qualify to the Champions League, because that's very important for the club's finances. But anyway, let's do the chat section real quick, and then we'll start by talking about Nike. Barcelona and Nike have once again sat down and discussed the contract between the two giants. But let's start with the comment section. And we do have our first donation of the night. Baby Scumbag, you are freaking amazing. Baby Scumbag, always donating to the channel, always supporting this channel. You are absolutely amazing. So Baby Scumbag says, my man Mo, what's up? Thoughts on the Mike Puig, director of La Masia, leaving FC Barcelona? So, okay, that's the news that I broke in yesterday's video. But Mikel Puig is leaving La Masia. He was a director of La Masia he was the tutor of La Masia during the first presidency of Joan Laporta. He's been with Barcelona for many, many years, and then he was assigned as a director of La Masia when Laporta was reelected, and now he has decided to leave because apparently he has been offered a lot more money in Saudi Arabia. What are my thoughts? Well, it's a shame because La Masia is very important within the club, and to have its director, leave, that's obviously a big, big loss for Barcelona. But unfortunately, that's, the nature of the business market. Executives leave all the time. They get better opportunities. They get higher salaries, though they end up leaving. It's just the nature of the market. It's unfortunate, but Barcelona are going to have to, find someone who is adequate, someone to run La Masia again, because given the importance of La Masia within the club. But thank you for your donation. Baby Scumbag, you're absolutely amazing. You should change your name to Baby Amazing because you are. Blarana Kule says, stop playing Halo to be here. Thank you, Blarana Kule, for stopping to play Halo. I've actually only played Halo very few times. I was personally more of a Counter-Strike kind of person when I was growing up. I like to play Counter-Strike a lot when I was in high school. But thank you for stopping to play Halo and being here. And Nima says, yes, they are bad, but just remember the Almeria games scandal. True. That was pretty bad. And Real Madrid have gotten a lot of bad calls in their favor this season. It's no doubt that their campaign, where they, through the Real Madrid TV, where they're constantly releasing videos attacking referees, is no doubt that they have, they're succeeding. And they're getting, a lot of benefit from bad refereeing calls. It's unfortunate, but what can we do? That is the nature of La Liga. But anyways, let's get back to the news because we do have to talk about Barcelona and Nike. Now, as I reported in a previous video, Nike were requesting a second meeting with Barcelona. If you're new to the channel, if you're watching this video or this podcast for the first time, if you don't know by now, but Barcelona have been trying to renegotiate their contract between them and Nike for quite some time, because they consider that the Nike contract is way below market value. Nike right now are paying around 30 to 35 million euros fixed to Barcelona per season. That's incredibly low if you compare it to other big contracts. For example, Real Madrid and Adidas. Adidas paid Real Madrid, I think it's 105 or 115 million euros per season. Adidas paid Manchester United 90 million euros per season, and we are receiving 35 million euros per season from Nike, and that's thanks to no other than the crook, the criminal himself, Josep Maria Bartomeu, who, when the contract between Barcelona and Nike was up, he was very desperate in renewing the contract, and therefore he negotiated very quickly and just accepted whatever terms Nike wanted to offer. And this is why the Barcelona Nike contract is way, way below market value. And that's why Barcelona have been trying to renegotiate it. Now, Puma have taken advantage of the whole situation. They've offered Barcelona a lot more money, a much better contract. But Barcelona still wanted to talk to Nike to see, if they're willing to maybe up their offer, because after all, the relationship between the two is very, very long. It's been going on since 1998, so almost 30 years. So as such, Barcelona wanted to give Nike the benefit of the doubt, see if they want to improve their offer. The first meeting between the two did not go that well. Nike did offer to up their offer, but only by very little. So Barcelona, walked away saying, okay, this is not working out. We're going to go with Puma. But then Nike said, hey, you know what? Let's sit down. Let's talk again. Let's see if we can fix things. Let's see if we can improve our relationship, because Nike do know or do realize that breaking the relationship between the two would be very costly for the company, because after all, Barcelona is, a big name in the football world, and losing Barcelona will be a big loss for Nike in the footballing world. And well, it seems that Barcelona and Nike have sat down for a second time. Both have walked away from the meeting, and both have reported that it was a positive meeting. There were good things said between the two, but Nike are still holding their position where, yes, they are willing to improve their offer, but only by a little. They're willing to increase their fixed amount by a little. They're maybe willing to negotiate a bonus here, a bonus there, remove thing or move there. But they're still maintaining their position that they're not willing to make a huge push to keep Barcelona in contract with them. And their position is, look, we're willing to improve our offer by a little, but if you want to leave and join Puma, go for it. Just remember, we are going to sue you, and we're going to ask for 350 million euros. So despite a positive meeting, despite things going well during the meeting, everybody, walking away happily because everything went well during the meeting, it was cordial. Barcelona are still in a tough situation because, again, Nike not willing to up their offer by that much. So if Barcelona continue with Nike until the end of the contract in 2028, they're looking to lose a lot of money because, again, the contract is way below market value. But if they do walk away, Nike are saying that they will sue Barcelona and ask for 350 million euros from the courts. Of course, there is a precedent as far as this. There was the precedent of Vinicius Jr., where he had a contract with Nike. He was looking to leave. He wasn't happy. A whole lawsuit ensued. And then Vinicius Jr. lost. And as such, he's still stuck with Nike until 2028. So there is a precedent, and there is the possibility, or the big possibility, that Barcelona could end up losing the lawsuit. So Barcelona are in a very, very critical situation where if they continue with Nike, they're going to lose a lot of money. But if they leave Nike, they could also lose a lot of money if they lose the lawsuit. Now, either way, whether Barcelona decide to leave or not, no decision is going to be made until next year, because right now it's almost March. So if Barcelona decide to leave Nike right now, it would not be enough time for Puma to design the merchandise, to produce merchandise, to distribute it around the world. So even if Barcelona do decide to leave, it's not going to be until the summer of 2025. So for now, there's not going to be any movement for sure. As far as the future, we still don't know whether Barcelona are going to want to move away from Nike or not, because either way, it's a lose-lose situation. And again, all of this is thanks to the crook himself, to the thug, to the criminal, to the inept Josep Maria Bartomeu, who I hope one day he will go to prison and absolutely rot in prison because of all the damage he has done to the club. But anyways, let's do the chat section, and then we will talk about Hansi Flick, because big news about Hansi Flick, guys. I know a lot of you want to see him in Barcelona. We do have some pretty good news. But let's go back to the chat section, and let's do the comment mentioned by Mehran, who says, it is my first time seeing live. It is my luck that your system didn't work. Great job, man. You're great. Why? Because my girlfriend hates you. Well, Mehran, thank you and welcome to the live stream. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you join the live stream more often in the future. I'm sorry that your girlfriend hates me. I don't know why. Maybe she's a Madrid fan. I don't know, but that was very funny. Thank you. You made my night. You made it very much. I was really pissed off after my whole software was not working and 8 different calls back and forth with customer support. I was really pissed off. But thank you for that comment. It really made my night. and it made everything better. But anyway, Shamar says, I've been saying it to many football fans. Madrid plays boring football. They really do. It's really awful. Don't tell Madrid fans. They swear that their team is like God sent and that nobody plays football like them and that they invented beautiful football. It's awful. Honestly, it's awful. There's nothing to it. And the crazy thing is that they have some pretty amazing players. They have Bellingham, Vinicius, Rodrigo, Come Pinga. For those of you who know Spanish, you'll understand the joke. Tchouaméni, they have a series of very talented players. And honestly, their football is not impressive whatsoever. But anyways, they each their own. Van Lee says, Real Madrid have been playing boring, bland football for years. They ride individual quality. I agree 100%. And Jabba the Hutt says, should we sell Koundé if Mikal Faye is promoted, or should we sell Faye since he also has a lot of offers, but he would be more profit? I wouldn't sell Faye because according to Barcelona's own scouting reports, he is showing a lot of promise and that he could become one of the best center backs in the world. Now, you could say, well, Koundé is already, considered a great center back. Faye is looking like he could be. We could be wrong. Maybe he doesn't end up being. But Faye is 19 years old. He still have plenty of room to grow. And Koundé, he's more reaching his maximum, ability level, his ceiling, if you may. I would prefer to keep Faye and sell Koundé. Plus, Koundé's market value is way higher than Faye, so it's not true that it would be more profit after actually Koundé would. Well, I guess because we didn't pay that much for Faye, it would be a bigger profit margin, but Koundé has a way higher market value than Faye. I would prefer to keep Faye and sell Koundé, but I don't know. If Koundé can recover his form from last season, I would prefer to keep him and Faye together. But if Koundé continues with his inconsistent performance, I would rather sell him. He has a high market value, and then just give the opportunity to Mika Faye to see if he can, succeed. But I don't know. That's my opinion. Anyways, let's get back to the news because I know you guys want to hear all about Hansi Flick, because it's reported that the German coach is insisting on Barcelona. Now, as I reported in yesterday's video, Hansi Flick's new agent, Bini Sabi, was seen in Barcelona with Joan Laporta at the stadium watching the Barcelona-Getafe match. Of course, a lot of people started to speculate, why was Bini Sabi there? Did they talk about signing Hansi Flick? Was there anything wrong with maybe Lewandowski? Because Bini Sabi also represents Lewandowski. Bini Sabi also represents Tuchel on certain occasions. So there's a lot of speculation. Of course, Barcelona came out and said, no, there was no business discussed. Bini Sabi was simply there because he's a really good friend of Joan Laporta. Of course, the two have had business dealings over the years. They're really good friends. Bini Sabi was passing through Barcelona, and as such, he decided to visit his good friend Joan Laporta. Joan Laporta was like, hey, just come to the game. We'll hang out. They did. They hung out in a presidential balcony. They watched the match. Good thing for Bini Sabi, he actually got to catch a really good match by Barcelona for the 0 convincing win. But no official business talk. But nonetheless, it's now being reported that Bini Sabi, while he was hanging out with Joan Laporta, having some drinks, eating, having a good time, he communicated to Joan Laporta, Bini Sabi communicated to Joan Laporta that Hansi Flick is very excited about joining Barcelona. Now, we already had reports in the German media. Bild had reported that Hansi Flick was excited about the opportunity of leading Barcelona, that he had started taking Spanish lessons. He had also started looking for possible candidates to join his staff. So we already knew that from the media, but now we're knowing this from Hansi Flick's own agent, because Bini Sabi told Laporta that Hansi Flick is very excited about the job, about the possibility of becoming the Barcelona manager. So much so that Hansi Flick has already started gathering reports about the team. Hansi Flick is at home watching Barcelona matches, watching Barcelona tapes, analyzing the team, figuring out what the team weaknesses are, figuring out what the team's strengths are, designing reports. So then when he's interviewed for the job, he can be, look, this is what Barcelona need. This is what Barcelona are weak at. And this is how I can fix it. This is how Barcelona are strong at. And this is how I can build upon that, etc. So Hansi Flick already doing the job of a manager, even though Barcelona have yet to sit down with him and discuss a possible contract. So Hansi Flick, very, very excited about the possibility of becoming a Barcelona manager. Of course, that's very exciting, in my opinion, given the club's current state, given, the young talent that we have on the team, the fact that the team needs, a push to be once again at the elite level. I think Hansi Flick would be a great choice for him. And the fact that he is very excited about the job, that makes me very excited about the prospects of Barcelona signing the German coach. But anyways, let's get back to the comment section, and then we will talk about Amadou Onana and his new price set by Everton. But let's see what you guys are saying. King Hud says, when I saw the ref change in the Madrid-Sevilla game, I was just preparing myself to like all the comments of the Madrid's first sub. His SofaScore rating would be a 5. By the way, they are now saying that Sevilla could technically file a complaint and ask for the match between Real Madrid and Sevilla to be played again. Now, in case you guys don't know, the referee in charge of the match between Real Madrid and Sevilla got injured during the match, so he had to come off. That's honestly 20 years I've been watching football. I've never seen that. But anyways, the referee got injured. So as a result, the fourth referee had to take his place. Now, the fourth referee is not licensed to be a first division referee or to be a referee that's able to deal with the VAR, something like that. But anyways, he doesn't have the license to be a referee for first division. He has a license to be a referee in the lower divisions. Because he doesn't have the license to be a first division referee, he can be a fourth referee, but not the referee on the field. And since he doesn't have the license for it, and he did sub in for the actual referee, they're saying that under the rules of La Liga and the Royal Spanish Football Federation, Sevilla could technically file a complaint and ask for the match between Madrid and Sevilla to be played again. Now, if I was Sevilla, I wouldn't do it, honestly. I think Sevilla lost fair and square. It doesn't make sense to, I think if they replay the match, it's going to be the same result. Madrid were, superior to Sevilla. But just know that is an option, which I thought was pretty interesting. I don't even know about the last time that has ever happened. But anyway, just wanted to share that interesting anecdote with you guys. Okay, Dovadkin says, when are we going to get out of this crisis? The economic crisis is estimated to last until 2025, 2026, approximately. It all depends, of course, on how things go. Let's see. The Matrix says, Nike has been treating us like a small club. Yes, 100%. By the way, Nike, during the meeting, they agreed with Barcelona that, yes, they haven't been doing a good job in promoting the Barcelona brand. Because if you don't know, Nike only offers e-commerce within Europe. Here in the US, if you want to buy anything off the Barcelona store, you can't. It sucks. It doesn't make any sense to me. But so Nike agreed, yes, Barcelona, you're right, that we haven't been promoting your product as much as we should be. And their excuse was, well, we're a multinational. We're a big company. We have a lot of teams all across different sports. So this is why we can't. Honestly, that's not a good enough excuse. Puma are offering Barcelona e-commerce all throughout the globe, not just Europe. And Nike also has been on decline. Their recent quarterly reports are showing losses. They're having to lay off employees. They're losing market share. I don't know what the hell's going on with Nike, but they're definitely not acting like the multinational that they are. And I really hope Barcelona end up leaving them. I love Nike, but the way they've been treating Barcelona, I think it's time for a new sponsor. But anyways, let's get back to the news and let's talk about drum roll. Just kidding, no drum roll. I already told you what we're going to talk about. It's Amadou Onana because we now have a new price for the Belgium, I think Senegalese. Is he Belgium and Senegalese? Anyways, about the Everton midfielder Amadou Onana, the 22-year-old defensive midfielder who Deco really, really likes. He's actually Deco's favorite option to reinforce the pivot position. And we already know that Barcelona's number one priority in the summer will be to reinforce that position. Now, Barcelona had set aside 40 million euros in order to try to sign Amadou Onana. And now Everton have informed Barcelona they are not going to be accepting that offer. pretty much telling Barcelona, don't even bother making that offer, because as soon as you make it, we're going to reject it, because we're not going to accept the 40 million euros for Amadou Onana. Now, what's the new price? Well, it seems that Everton are willing to accept around 50 to 60 million euros for Onana. On one hand, it's bad news because it's more than the 40 million euros Barcelona were hoping to offer. But on the other hand, it is good news because it is much less than what Everton were initially asking for. Because initially, Everton wanted 90 million euros for Amadou Onana, and then they realized no one in their right mind is going to pay that. So they lowered their asking price to 70 million euros. Again, truth slapped them in the face, or reality slapped them in the face, and they realized nobody's going to pay that either. So now their asking price has decreased between 50 to 60 million euros, which again, on one hand, is bad news because it's more than what Barcelona were hoping to pay, which is 40 million. But on the other hand, it's good news because 50 to 60 million is much, much less than the initial 90 million that Everton were asking for. And this is something I've talked about a lot in my previous videos. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, we should sell Serginho Dest for, I don't know, $2 billion. And it's like, that's not how it works. You know, players have an actual market value. And sure, you can ask for whatever price you want, but it doesn't mean people are going to want to, you know, pay it. If you have a Honda Civic, you can technically put it on the market for $1 million. Doesn't mean people are actually going to pay $1 million, you know. And it's the same with these players. You know, some of these clubs are like just hallucinating, or I don't know what they drank, but they think they can, oh, I'm just going to 100 million. And it's like, your player is worth 10 million. Nobody's going to pay 100 million. So it looks like Everton have, you know, finally realized nobody's going to pay 90 million or 70 million for Onana. They have reduced their price to 50 to 60. It's still more than what Barcelona want, but, you know, 40 to 50, it's not that big of a difference. So who knows? Maybe Barcelona can up their offer. Maybe they can negotiate somewhere in the middle, but we'll see. And anyways, let me know what you guys think. Do you think Barcelona should, you know, increase their offer for Onana? Should we look for someone else? Let me know in the chat section. But let's get back to the comments, and that we will talk about Lamine Yamal. All right, let's see. Mehran says, Mo, you rock. I start my TV with your program. Love it. Don't ever quit. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Mehran, where are you from, my friend? Are you by any chance Persian? Because your name sounds Persian. But thank you for your support and for your comment. And my man, Ross, he says it would be so cool if Barca win La Liga and the Champions League. And then Xavi says, Bazinga, I'm staying. I mean, look, the chances of us winning both are very, 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 very unlikely. And even if we do, I still wouldn't want Xavi to stay. I think at this point, we've realized Xavi's not the right guy to lead Barcelona. So even if Xavi does end up winning the La Liga and the Champions League, I still would ask for a new coach because Xavi's just not it. Just not it. But anyways, Mustafa says, thank you, Mustafa, for the donation. He gave us a super sticker, which, again, my subpar streaming software that didn't work today, and it's the reason why I was late, is not showing it. But thank you. A million times thank you for the super sticker. And Blarana Kule says, Mo, Inter Miami versus LA Galaxy was really good last night. Finished 1-1. Seeing Messi, Alba, Buzi, Suarez, and Puig on the same pitch was a bit surreal. I did not watch the game, but I did see the replay of Messi's goal, which took me back, man. You know, the Messi Jordi Alba combination is just special, man. It's just special. But one more, and Dovakin says, let's all fans of the world donate 20 euros to sign Rafael Leao. Honestly, yeah, why not? I mean, look, it's estimated that Barcelona have 200 million fans around the world. That's the estimates. So we don't even need 20 euros. If each fan donates 1 euro, that's 200 million euros. That's more than enough than to sign Rafael Leao. So maybe we should start a GoFundMe, you know? But anyways, let's do the last bit of news, and then we will do a lot more comments. I know I owe you guys at least a few more comments, given that I'm 3 hours late. But let's do the last bit of news, and this time it's about our La Masia gem and jewel, Lamine Yamal, our future Messi, because it's reported that Lamine Yamal is responding really well to his training. Now, What am I talking about? Well, let's not forget, Lamine Yamal is only 16 years old. He's a child. Not only he has not fully developed as a football player, but he has not even fully developed as a human being. He's still growing. His muscles are still developing. His bones are still developing. His ligaments are still developing. He is still growing. In fact, since he debuted last season until today, he has grown 10 centimeters. That's crazy. That we really forget that he is, after all, a child. And not only is he a child, but he is playing with the first team against 25, 30-year-olds, fully grown men, much bigger, stronger, faster than him. And the crazy thing about it all is that you can't even tell the difference. You have a child facing men and you don't even realize it, because that's how good he is. But anyways, the news is that Barcelona have actually tailored a specific training plan for him. He follows a specific training methodology or training sessions that's designed for someone who is still going through puberty, for someone who's still growing and developing physically. And it looks like this plan that Barcelona came up with is working really, really well for Lamine Yamal, because during this season, he has already gone up 7 kilograms in muscle, because he's responding really well to his specific tailored training plan. And he is getting much more stronger and much more explosive, which is what Barcelona were aiming to achieve when they designed this specific plan for him. Now, Lamine Yamal himself has reported that he's feeling really well. He feels great on the field. He feels faster. He feels more explosive. He feels stronger, which, again, really, really great job by Barcelona's physical trainers. Of course, we always complain about the physical trainers, given the club's injuries, given how players lack intensity, etc. But it seems when it comes to Lamine Yamal, they've done a really good job, because the player is responding really well to the specific design plan that they made for him, where, again, he has, gone up 7 kilograms in muscle. He feels faster, more explosive, stronger. And this season, he has grown 2.5 centimeters, and they're expecting him to reach 1 meter and 180 centimeters, which is a pretty good height for a winger. So really good job, Barcelona. I know we always criticize the physical trainers, but we got to give credit when credit is due. Well done on designing this plan for Lamine Yamal, because our future star, our future Messi needs to be, as physically strong and potent as he could. All right, let's do some comment section, and then we will end the live stream. I know some of you guys want to sleep, but Shamar says, I love how serious Flick is about being Barca manager, but I'm still concerned if Barca will lose the possession style of play. Actually, Flick does play possession style of play. His just is a lot more vertical and a lot faster, but Flick still plays possession-based football. And Roy David says, Barca need German strength, German organized. What's happened in the last few years, it's a circus. Agree. I think everything ever since Valverde took over, it's just been downhill from there. Valverde, Setien, Koeman, Xavi. It's just been one bad coach after bad coach. And I can't read Hebrew, so don't know what that name is. But he says, I think Thomas be a better coach. I'm guessing you're talking about Tuchel. I personally prefer Flick. I don't think Tuchel is a horrible option like a lot of people make it out to be. Like, oh my God, Tuchel is so bad. I don't think he's that bad, but I prefer Flick over Tuchel. Roy says, well, the problem with Nike, if we have a big penalty in the contract, otherwise. So the penalty is actually, this is the interesting thing about the contract between Barcelona and Nike. There is no penalty written in the contract. So there is no clause that says if the contract is broken, this is how much Barcelona have to pay. So there's no such thing written into the contract. So it would be more based on, common law, because when you do break a contract, whether there's a clause or not, you could sue for damages. And usually the damages is however you would have made from that point until the end of the contract. So if, you break the contract 3 years early and you're making 100 million per year, you can sue for 300 million, because technically you would have made 300 million had the contract remained intact, right? So there is no penalty written into the contract. It would be more based on the law. Anyways, Not the Gamer says, would you bring in Rebia on free and then sell him for 10, 50 mil? Yeah, I mean, that's a good option. Whatever option that can make us money, why not? Dima says, Is it our board directors have another option for CDM if we didn't get Amadou Onana? Yeah, so Rebia is an option. Amadou Onana is an option. Kimmich is an option. There's plenty of options. Plenty of options, my friend. And Nima confirming that Mehran is a Persian name. I know a Persian name when I see one. And Nima says, do you think Frankie, Koundé, Christian, and Rafinha will solve FFP problems / registration? Okay, so to solve the FFP problems, we need to raise 100 million euros just to achieve the 1-to-1 rule. We need to raise 100 million. That does not account for the money we need to raise for signings. So let's say we want to sign Onana for 50. We will need to raise 100 just to reach the 1-to-1 rule, and then raise a separate 50 to sign Onana. So we would need 150 total just to sign Onana, right? Now, out of the 100 that we need to raise, 40 million will come from Barca Vision. We sold Barca Vision to the German fund, Libero. They didn't pay us. We have sued them. Now we're looking for a new investor. The new investor will pay us 40 million. So out of the 100, 40 million will come from Libero. The other 60 could come maybe from the sale of Rafinha. There's reports that clubs want to pay 60 for Rafinha. If you sell Rafinha, boom, you just achieved the 1-to-1 rule. Now you need to raise money for signings. Christensen could get you about 40 million. Koundé, maybe 50, 60 million. So that's 100. Frankie, he's not for sale, but if we were to sell him, that's another 100 million. So yes, to answer your question, that's a yes. You could solve the FFP problem / registration by selling all those players. But of course, Frankie is not for sale. We'll see whether the club want to sell Koundé and Christensen, and we'll see how much money we get for Rafinha. And Mehran confirming, yes, I am Persian, and the reason I said my girlfriend didn't like you is because you get more attention. The first thing I do when I get home, watch your video. That is hilarious, my friend. There is my friend. Hilarious. But pay attention to your girlfriend. I would not want to be the reason that you guys break up. But JP, MP, MP, JP, TWP, MJP, JP, JP says, hi, Mo, all the way from Cameroon. When Hansi will coach Barca, I'm afraid he won't be given the 16-year-old enough playing time. I don't think that's the case. What's the other option? Rafinha? I would a million times prefer having Lamine Yamal over Rafinha because, I've said it many, many times before. Rafinha is not a Barca level player. Anyways, Not the Gamer says, would you sell Rafinha for someone like Adeyemi? Also, thoughts on Marco Reus leaving Dortmund at the end of the season? I would have loved to have Reus back when he was younger. As far as selling Rafinha for Adeyemi, I would sell Rafinha for a falafel sandwich because he sucks. So I would happily sell him for whomever. If you haven't had falafel sandwich, I highly recommend it. It's absolutely delicious. But anyways, Ross says Mo is also a Persian name. So is Messi. Just kidding. Mo is, actually technically an Arabic name, but these days such a common name that you can even say it's, I don't know, a Danish name. I don't know. But anyways, JR says Onana should definitely be a free signing and sell him afterwards to the Saudis. He's been mostly injured in his career. Unfortunately, we cannot sign him for free, but that would be funny if we did that. And Not the Gamer says, what's the latest news on Casado's renewal? So far, no news. Barcelona cannot renew any contracts right now because of the financial fair play. That's the same reason why we cannot sign a coach. A lot of people are like, oh, just sack Xabi and bring someone else. We can't. Our financial fair play doesn't allow us to do anything right now. We cannot sign players. We cannot sign a coach. We cannot renew contracts. We can't do anything. So any renewals, any signings, any new coaches are going to have to wait until the summer. But anyways, all right. Whew. We got it done, guys. 3 hours late, but we got it done. Anyways, thank you, you absolutely amazing people. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sorry I was 3 hours late. Again, I had a problem with my streaming software. Finally got it to work. But thank you a million times. Thank you for tuning in, for watching, for your comments, your likes, your subscriptions. You guys are absolutely freaking amazing. The best YouTube community by far. But thank you guys. I posted a video earlier tonight. Make sure to check it out. Some good news in there too. But I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night or good morning wherever you are. And as always, Visca Barça.